Welcome to the topic section of We Own the Light. Our topic for right now, what in the hell is a CE-5 anyway? Well, let's go find out. Traditionally, there have been 4 categories of close encounters. There was a CE-1, close encounters of the first kind, which basically is identified by the sighting of an unidentified craft at a distance of less than 500 feet. A CE-2 was an event in which a physical effect was alleged, such as interference with the radio in your car or your television set, or evidence of footprints, or scorch marks on something, that sort of thing. A CE-3, which was, of course, made famous by the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, is an encounter in which an animated figure is actually present. And that doesn't necessarily mean a traditional ET. It could be anything that is associated with a UFO, including what appears to be human occupants or pilots of these vehicles, or even robots. A CE-4 is a close encounter of the fourth kind, and it's identified as an event in which a human is abducted by a UFO or its occupants. And I'd like to pause for just a second there and talk about the movie The Fourth Kind. It's a good movie. It is. It was well done. It'll scare the shit out of you, and that's the problem. Even though things like that are very, very entertaining, me myself, I am a huge horror fan. Oh my god, I love horror movies. I'd rather watch horror movies than anything else. I've always been that way since I was a little kid. And for the purpose of entertainment, I still really enjoy watching stuff like that, including, oh my god, did you just hear my dog? So anyway, I still truly enjoy watching movies like that, but from a fantastical standpoint. I watch them, and at this point in time, I do get irritated. I'm like, oh my god, why would you be perpetuating that kind of crap? But at the same time, from an entertainment standpoint, I still watch them. The problem is the people that are watching these things and they're believing this shit. This is not what needs to happen. What needs to happen is you need to take them for what they are, and that's a Hollywood interpretation of anything to do with UFOs and ETs, and it's their spin on it that's going to make them money. And that is the long and the short of it, and the be-all end-all. They need $1. So keep that in mind when you're watching stuff like that and sharing information like that with others. Close encounters are not about fear. In fact, they're the very opposite. If there is fear present when you are attempting to make contact, that contact will not happen. So now that my rant is over, let's move on and talk about what a CE-5 is. Now we get to the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. CE-5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. It's defined as a UFO event that involves direct communication between extraterrestrials and humans. That's from Wiki, by the way. However, the word extraterrestrials wasn't originally in there. They used the word aliens. I despise the word aliens. It's rude. It's just rude. So I refuse to use it. I changed it. The second bullet. This type of close encounter was named by Stephen M. Greer's C-SETI group and is described as bilateral contact experiences through conscious, voluntary, and proactive human-initiated cooperative communication with extraterrestrial intelligence. Oh my God, what a mouthful. You want to know what that means? What that means is folks going out and making direct contact with the extraterrestrial intelligence on purpose, for a purpose. So let's talk about that a little more. Okay, so let's try to unravel that mouthful of definition that we just talked about and make it a little simpler. So what makes a CE-5 so different, and why in the world would you want to do it? What makes it so different, as I said, is it's initiated by human beings rather than just being something that occurs by happenstance. In other words, if you're out in your car late one night and something streaks across the sky real low in front of you and you think it's a UFO, that's not a CE-5. If something runs across the road, a little gray thing runs across the road in front of you, that's not a CE-5 either. If you think something is peeking in your window, that's not a CE-5 either. A CE-5 is when you deliberately, you work at this. It's deliberate work to make this contact. Therefore, it's the only close encounter that's active on the part of human beings rather than being passive. All four of the other ones, they're passive. They just happen. This one doesn't just happen. You make it happen. It's also the only close encounter that has at its core a higher purpose. And this is the most important of these three bullets by far. The point of a C5 is not to prove that ETs exist. We already know they exist. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't. The purpose is to communicate with them, to learn from them, and ultimately to better ourselves, our planet, and our place in the universe. And you might be wondering, why in the world would we want to try to learn something from a culture that's not even quote-unquote from here? Well, maybe because if they were advanced enough to figure out how to do interstellar travel, that means that they are advanced enough that they've gone beyond being bound by the speed of light. They have most certainly figured out how to utilize unlimited energy that's available from the universe. I would guess that they probably do not have a society that is defined by one end being incredibly filthy rich and the other end being incredibly poor and living in poverty and misery. I doubt very seriously that they really care about any political agendas. I doubt that they have any religious agendas. And I'm talking about things that we encounter every day in our lives that form our beliefs and the way that we behave. And this is not a good thing. You need to get out from underneath all of that. You need to learn from somebody that's already been there. Somebody that is willing to help us get away from that. Somebody that is willing to learn to help us to tap in to unlimited energy potential. You know, I mean, come on. Why would you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? So yeah, I know, I'm ranting again. I apologize. I should have saved that for the rant section of the YouTube channel, but it is what it is. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you found the content enjoyable or informative, please subscribe. Check out our other stuff. And if you've got any questions, here in just a second up on the screen is going to pop up our email address. Feel free to email us, ask us any questions. And if you'd be interested in going out with us, if you're local here in Buckingham, Virginia, give us a shout.